Well, if it ain't one thing, it's a freaking another, guys. What is up, guys? We are back. I'm going to go ahead and try to do another thing while the truck is still down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try my best to drop the front diff off and everything else that needs to be taken down, and I'm going to try to replace the oil pan gasket. And I've also been told while I'm doing that, I need to also try to replace I think it's the oil pump gasket. I think that's how they call it. I'm not 100% sure. Never really done that part. I've done oil pan gasket once or twice, but again, I've not really done a whole lot of this stuff. Still getting into it all. So that's why it takes me so long. That's why I have to break down videos and all that stuff, because it takes me a long time to do it. And not everybody likes that, but either way, still I gotta do that. So with that being said, we're gonna hop up into it, and we're gonna see how fast I can get this done. It's not supposed to be super hard, but like I said, we're gonna do that. And I already have the jack underneath supporting the thing. There's a couple things we gotta take down. I know I got to sit there, and they tell you, most people tell you that you need to take out the CV axles in order to do this. I've seen people just drop the diff off and these come down with it. I've seen people sit there, like, not completely drop off the diff, but like lower it down just enough to where you can get the oil pan out and all that stuff. But like I said, we're gonna see what we can do. First things first, I have to drop off the cross member on the bottom. I have to take that out, because if you don't take that out, you're not gonna be able to get the rest of this stuff done. So that's gonna be the first part of doing all this stuff. I know I got some wires I might have to unhook. Alright, first things first, since we know we gotta drain out, take out the oil pan, first things we're gonna do is attempt to do this part right and get the oil drained all out. So see if we can get this done the right way. Hopefully there's no metal shavings in here. Woo! Missed it just by a little bit, but it's okay. Now we're going to go on to the next part. We have some cross member bolts up here, and then 2 over here. I've also never done an oil change since I've had this truck, so I'm hoping that nothing too terribly bad shows up out of this. So like I said, hopefully the stuff that's on this itself, hopefully that this stuff is just like sludge built up and not actual metal shavings, because that would be my luck, it's metal shavings. Alright, so the metal shavings that were on here, it were only a couple small pieces, which hopefully isn't too terribly bad, but yeah, I said they had a couple of them at the very end right here, but it wasn't anything too terribly bad, just like covered all over it. So alright, so like I said, we got this one, and then we also got 2 more over there on the far side that we got to take off. So we're gonna see how well we can get these 2 parts done. Take this to this side and hopefully get up on there just like that. This to this side. There we go. There's that one, that's out. Next we're going to do this one. And here we go. Well, this one we may have to do a different way, just because I can't get the thing over it. So, hold on. And just like that, we finally got this one blocked, this top one out. So we're going to push this one through. Bring it out over here. Oh, hopefully. Oh, my freaking finger. Oh, I got it. That's all that matters. Oh. Now on to the other side. Alright guys, so we got this one we're gonna drop down this side, and we got one more up here, that we gotta drop down or take out. Not drop down, but take out. Then we'll have to look around and see where the other ones are. And I totally just knocked y'all over. Now we gotta go to that side and figure out how we gonna get those things out. So yeah. Alright guys, we finally got that one out. It had a nut on the back of it, so yeah. It was, I used a 22 wrench on the back, and then I had my 21 or 22, I can't remember exactly what it was. Let me show you. I had 21 with it. Yeah, it was a 21 with the extension and a couple other things to get up to that one, but that's all done and out. So hopefully now, if I drop this jack a little bit, it will actually come down just a tad bit. Alright, we're gonna go nice and slow with the jack and see if anything's going to come out or not. Like I said, we're gonna try to go nice and slow at least. Oh, it is slowly dropping down, but I'm gonna watch it just to try to make sure nothing too bad happens. Nope. Nope. Must still have something somewhere. It just won't break free for a second, so hold on. Let me look around and see what else I can find that might need to come out, and if not, we might just have to give a couple lip taps in order to get it to drop down, but we'll see. Alright guys, I did just get this last one out. It is right there. So yeah, actually my bad, it's right here. So yeah, we got all this out, so now we're gonna see if the front diff will drop so where we can get everything else. So yeah, I just pulled down the jack a little bit and it started to come loose. So we'll see exactly how much this will drop down. Nice and slow with it, hopefully. Oh. Try and watch this and go as slow as we can. Or hopefully nothing messes up. There it goes. Nice and slowly. Alright, I'm going to tighten it up right here. And I'm going to touch that off over there. I'm going to try to move this light a little bit. That way I can keep it up in there. Sorry for it being really loud and everything else, but I'm going to try to do this. The video I watched, this guy had to pry on this part down here a little bit. There it goes. So, we got this part to drop out. I don't need it all the way down and out. I just need it enough to where I can get this part down and out of this. So, yeah. Now we should have to just now focus on getting all the wires and everything disconnected up here. And then there's a sensor up over here. You can barely see the blue on it, but there's a sensor up over there that we gotta get and unplug and disconnect. That way nothing happens whenever we take the oil pan actually out. So yeah, we want to do that part now. Alright guys, sorry for all this crazy angled stuff, but I don't know how well you guys can see that up there, but right down there, if I can get my finger to it. Yeah. So right here, where my finger's touching when the flashlight's hitting, there is a sensor that's plugged in there, and you have to go from this top side with some type of flathead or something to pop it up and out. We're gonna move on to the next step. I had to get the there's a wiring up near the oil pan. I had to get one bolt out for that stuff, and the wiring should come down. And then we're gonna move on to all the oil pan bolts coming out. And then we have a couple bolts back here on the transmission we have to take out. What is up, guys? I'm back. It's next day. My camera, or my GoPro, ran out of the space and died last night, so I didn't get to really do anything. Plus I got really lazy and really tired, and I'm not gonna lie, I did. So we're back here today, and we're gonna see as much done, see how much we can get done as possible today. I have my brother who's supposed to be coming over later on today to help me finish this stuff up, but all we should have left to do now at this point is drop the wiring down, and then take out all the the oil pan bolts, and then wiggle the thing out to get it out. Again, I am still scared to see how things are going to look because of the fact that we did have small pieces of metal in the bottom of the oil pan, which is never good, but we're going to do a deep dive into that once we get it out to see what all we can get done and see how bad all that stuff is. I'm hoping it's nothing major, but we don't know until we find out. So with that being said, let's hop back into the video. Alright guys, we are up here. We gotta get this bolt out, and then there's one more bolt on this side, and then there's a tab right here that we gotta pull down, and then I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do this exactly because I gotta look around everything. But it looks pretty self-explanatory, just dropping all this wiring down just by undoing these bolts. So we're gonna get in here and see what we can get done. So with that being said, let's attempt to do this. I'm in all types of cockeyed angles right now, but it's gonna be alright. We're gonna get through it slowly but surely. Give me a second though to actually try to break these things loose, because there we go. These things have been up here for obviously a very long time. Hold it. Jesus, dog. There it goes. How are you gonna put that? Sorry if my hand's in the way again, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to give you guys the best angles without completely ruining everything. Alright guys, I was actually doing the wrong one. These two over here are not the right one to get this loose. There's actually normally a little small bolt on the side over here, so not here, that gets this little part loose over here. So once this one gets loose and comes out, all you have to do is take this part, slide it over from this little part. There's like a little pin thing in here. You slide it over and then you can drop it down. Now we can get to the rest of these bolts all around and slowly work our way around getting all these bolts out. So yeah. Alright, so we got this one, we got that side bolt, and then we got this one. All the front bolts are done. Now we're going to go along both sides, getting both side bolts off, all those, and then I'm going to put the side bolts for each side it's on, I'm going to put them down on that side. So passenger side bolts, I'm going to put them all down here next to the wheel. Driver side bolts, I'm going to put all those down next to that wheel over there. That way I know which side they go to. I did that with the fronts. I'm going to do that with the back ones also. So we're going to continue the process of getting out these bolts. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get them from the front side or if I'm going to have to get them from the side somehow. But we'll find that out as we're going. So here we go. Alright guys. So we currently got 2 or 3 of these bolts out. I have this one that's up in here. I don't know how well you can see. Yeah, it's right there. I'm going to try to get my socket and stuff through this part without having to pull any of this crap out. Like to undo it or anything. Then we have this one right there, this one, and then I'm almost sure that we're going to also take off the starter and all that stuff. And then we have this one, probably have to take this one out, got this one and this one, and then we'll go down the other side, and then we'll be on our way to get everything else undone. So yeah, that's just the update right now where we're at. So alright guys, so I did get that one out, I got this one out, I got that one out. I personally went and pulled the side little part out. I don't think I actually have to pull the starter out, but we'll see. So I just pulled this little side bolt up here out. I got this long bolt out right here, along with that long bolt out right there. I got the transmission bolt out. Now we're gonna go through the other side and get all these other side bolts out, and then we'll see what we're looking like to actually pull out the oil pan itself. So, alright guys, I'm sorry I didn't exactly go through a whole lot of this stuff with you, but I did get all the bolts out from this side over here. I have every last bolt out except for one that's holding up the oil filter and all that stuff right now from coming all the way completely out. I need to take an oil filter wrench, take out the oil filter, let all that stuff drain out. Then I should be ready to actually drop off the actual oil pan, all of it itself. So yeah. Alright guys, so I literally went to pull the oil filter off and the whole pan just popped down. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this part down over here. This little side, I'm gonna wipe it all down, and then I'm going to attempt to get out the oil pan. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, we are back. So in order to get the gasket off of the oil pan, there should be a rivet. It's right here, if it's factory. If it's still a factory oil pan gasket that's on, they have a rivet right here. And then they'll also have one right here next to my finger. So you have to drill those out. I know it sounds scary, but you have to drill those out. I think this one that I used was like a 30 seconds drill bit to do it. I watched a video and a guy recommended using a a 9/64, I think is what he said, but I used a 5/32. I don't know the difference between those two, but that's what I used. So now we're going to finish getting out all these bolts, and then I'm going to do a deep clean after I get all the oil out. I'm going to do a deep clean, spraying it down with brake cleaner. Then I'm going to come back and take as much of this gasket stuff off that's all around here. That goes all around the oil pan itself. And any excess stuff in general, I'm going to try my best to clean out and clean off. So, alright guys, so I just got done getting this thing out here to the yard. As you can see, I don't know how well you can see it, but there is some sludge and stuff up there, or down there in the bottom. So we're going to do our best to get all that crap out, see what everything is. I don't think there's really any metal shavings in here. I only seen a couple small pieces whenever I first took everything out, but we're going to spray it all down with the brake cleaner, like I said, and we're going to see where that gets us. So, as you guys can see, there is some sludge up in there that we're going to clean out. We're going to go through it a little bit better to see if it actually is any metal shavings to it or not. And yeah, we'll go from there. As far as I can tell, it's not. It just looks like a lot of old sludge from down in there, but like I said, we're going to clean it out the rest of the way and we're going to find out.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alright, here's an update for you guys. So I sprayed it with a parts degreaser and brake cleaner both. As you can tell down in there, I got a lot of the sludge out, and for the most part, as far as I could tell, a lot of it was just sludge. I haven't really seen anything metal. So yeah, that's what all that has looked like. Like I said, so far I haven't really seen anything too bad. I'm in the process now of trying to scrape off all the gasket stuff, the residue of the gasket stuff. You're supposed to either use a knife or razor blade. Preferably a razor blade, considering it has a long, sharp part to it, and it's straight across. It doesn't have any like grooves or any loops or anything to it, so that's what you're supposed to use. I still gotta clean off the rest of it all around. And then I'm going to dive down into there and do my best as I can to clean out all that stuff. And then I'm going to go around the sides, all around the outside of the oil pan, cleaning all that crap off too, making it look nice and neat. And I'm going to do the same thing with that one. And then I also have the oil sending unit to clean out. Once I take that out, I'm going to do that. And then I also have the O-ring for the oil pump to replace too, which I'll get to eventually. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all of it today, considering here in a little bit we have a birthday party to go to, and then we have other stuff going on. So if I don't get it done today, then I'll finish it up within the next couple days. But just an update for you guys. It's probably going to be a couple day project for me, just because I don't have a whole lot of time going these next couple days. But anyways, if you like this so far, like and subscribe. If you don't, then I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna head out and then I'll see y'all here in a little bit. Alright guys, I am finally back. We just got home from doing everything and I just got done with sanding, well not sanding, scraping all this residue of the old gasket off. And I also sit there and sprayed more of the brake cleaner stuff in there. I got all the way down in there. Again, it's not gonna look absolutely amazing because it's an old truck. But I did get it as good as I could get. The outside also, again, it's not going to look absolutely amazing. Just because it's an old truck and it has a lot of wear and tear on it already. I still have to go up underneath and clean off all that stuff. The residue of the gasket up on top of the actual engine itself. And do that stuff. So, get that stuff done. And I also got to take out the oil sending unit and replace the O-ring. And it should look like something close to this. I got mine yesterday, so it should look something like that you take it off of. And then I also have my new gasket also. And I'll show you here in a little bit where you're supposed to go and put the you're supposed to buy RTB lubricant stuff, and I'll show you here in a little bit where you're supposed to put that at, because there's 4 corners of the engine block that you gotta put this stuff on. I bought this one because it's supposed to be for oil pans and a couple of different things. It's supposed to be really resistant to certain stuff. So, like I said, that's what I got and that's what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to continue this process. Again, if I don't get it done tonight, it's not that big of a deal. I have plenty of time to do it. I just would like to get my truck up and going, but either way, I have to wait still because of the fact that I'm still waiting for my lower control arm to come in, to where I can get that part done, and hopefully everything will be back normal. But if it's not, it's fine. We just can continue the process of getting this thing fixed up until it's ready to go back on the road. So, yeah. Alright guys, so we got one bolt up here, or one nut I should say, up here. Then, I'm pretty sure we have one more right here. And then the other one, oh, give me a second to move over, is right up here. I don't think you can see it, but anyways, it's right up in here. So it's, yeah, help me get this whole sending unit thing down. Always make sure you also clean this thing out too when you take this stuff out. I'll be doing the same thing, but we're gonna take this out. I'm gonna replace the O-ring on the end of this, and we're gonna pop back up once I get that and that done. So yeah. Alright guys, so this is the ring they're sitting there talking about. You want to replace this one. It likes to get flat every once in a while, so I'm going to take this off. Don't know how well y'all going to be able to see this for a second, but I'm going to take this off. Oh, if I can. One second. Get up underneath of it, and we're going to pop this loose. There we go. Alright. So anyways, so this little ring, if you can see it, it likes to go flat every once in a while. And that's what kind of what it looks like. And this can also apparently cause you to have oil pressure problems and stuff like that. This little ring, it goes right on top, or right around this little sending unit part. And yeah, so this is the old one. I got the new one right here that's supposed to go into it. We're going to put it on, see how well it works. So, alright, we got this new one on. You can't tell because it's black. That's racist! But still, we have the new one on. Before we do that, though, and before I put that one back up in there, we are going to, give me 1 second. All this gasket crap that's still on it, all this stuff all around needs to be cleaned back off. So I need to go with the little razor blade thing and clean all that stuff off all the way down, all the way around before I put all that new stuff back on. So that's what I'm gonna do. See how long it takes, but we'll get it done. Alright guys, so we have this thing on. I put 4 zip ties around this thing just so I can hold it on whenever I'm going to get it back on. I have the oil tube, oil pickup tube thing in there right now. I cleaned off the surrounding parts of up here. And we're pretty much good to go. The only thing I really have left to do, like I said, I cleaned up as best I could around all this stuff. You're supposed to take this sealant stuff and put it on all 4 corners. And what I mean by that is this corner right here, you're supposed to put it a little bit along this little line right here. Same thing with up there. Same thing with, oh, if I can show it to you guys. There's a little part, back up here. There's a little line you got to do over here. And same thing with up here. There's a little line that you put the RTB stuff on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little light layer across it. And if you don't do it, that's where you're going to have all your failing points of oil coming out at if you don't do it the right way. I'm normally very bad with putting gasket sealant stuff on. Normally I either one, don't put on enough, or I put on too much. So hopefully this time I'll get the right amount on it and it'll work the way it needs to be. So we'll find out here in a second how well that goes. Alright guys, as you can see, I finally do have the oil pan back up. I only have 4 bolts in, technically total. I had the 2 transmission bolts in, and I had the oil pan bolts in from the bottom part. I don't have anything else up, but let me tell you, it took a lot of finagling and definitely a lot of patience getting this oil pan up over this part. You have to hold this thing down different ways while you're pushing up on this and finagling different ways. And for some reason it likes to get stuck over here on this little lip part right here. So you have to, like, when you're taking it out, you have to finagle this thing down and shift it over towards the right. And pull and hold this lower, or the front diff down and all that stuff. But whenever you're going back in, you have to push it up in. You have to hold this thing down, and you have to kind of slide it over as you're holding and pushing and all that stuff. Definitely not easy, but I got it. So yeah, we're going to continue the process of putting all the bolts back in. And we might call it for the night because I got to go work tomorrow. But alright guys, I had to stop for the night. As you can see, I was working. I didn't catch it on film, sadly. It would have been a great clip for y'all to have, for y'all to watch. But I was working on the truck. I was tightening up some of the oil pan bolts real fast, and with using my impact just to tighten it up. And the impact, the extension I had came apart from the impact I was using. And whenever I pulled the impact away, and I went to catch the extension as it was coming back down, didn't react quick enough, and it ended up hitting me in my face. I didn't know I was bleeding until I got out from underneath of it, thinking I was ready to go inside. And I went to wipe my brow, take my hat off and wipe my brow, and I looked down, and I ended up having
blood on your finger?
Yes, I got blood on my finger. And I ended up having to wipe it away 3 or 4 different times, but I found out, and learned the hard way. Apparently, you're not supposed to do that. So, anyways, I'm going to shut it off for tonight, and I will be back at tomorrow. Alright guys, I am back out here again. Because I went inside last night instead of pulling all those out, I don't know, but I'm thinking I might have messed up the gasket sealant stuff, but I don't know. We won't know until we actually go to turn on the truck and everything like that. I'm going to see if I can just tighten everything down to torque spec and see if everything will still work the way it's supposed to. I'm hoping it does. If not, then we'll have to take the oil pan back down and all that stuff. Either that, or I'll take it back down here in a little bit and then just double up on the sealant stuff just to double check and make sure. Well, if it ain't one thing, it's a freaking another, guys. Last night I got hit in the eye with a tool, and this night some more BS happens again. That's what happens with older vehicles. I was trying to tighten everything down to torque spec and do it in like a crisscross type of way to where I could get everything hopefully even. And right as I was getting to the third to last bolt, about the third to last bolt, the bolt I was on ended up snapping and causing not the bolt, the pan ended up breaking off where I was trying to tighten down the oil pan bolt at. And I'll show you here in just a second, guys. But yeah, it happened. I was literally almost done, about to sit there and tighten everything up, put everything back together, and as soon as I went to do the second or third to last one, and I went one more turn with it, right as soon as I almost hit 18, it smacked, or it's not smacked, it cracked, and I was sitting there going, no way, until I took my light and actually shined it up there, and you can see where it cracked at, and I'll show you guys here in a second. Alright guys, I got the oil pan out, and the gasket's already broken, so I'm about to buy another gasket. That's another 70 bucks. And here's the culprit, guys, right here on the oil pan. I was tightening this backside down, and it broke. That's what you get for having aluminum stuff, but it is what it is. It's okay. I'll buy another one, and we'll put it on. We'll put the new gasket on again, new sealant stuff. I gotta clean all the sealant off the bottom and clean that stuff real good with paper towel and everything else, and a razor blade. But it is what it is. We'll just keep on going, keep on trucking, and get it done eventually. So with that being said, like, subscribe, comment, tell me your favorite part, and yeah, I'll see y'all next one. Peace.